back with episode 10 of Ico Pod. I'm Bob Collins Jr., and with me, as always, is Austin Skinner.
Here I am.
Nothing special this time. Really?
Nope.
Every other one, there's like, oh, who's better than me? And
Nope.
wow. Was not expecting that. So we're inching closer and closer. After this week, we got one more show, and we will be at WrestleMania IX.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any thoughts and feedback, opinions as we march on to WrestleMania IX, head on over to IcoPod on Facebook and share your thoughts on the shows leading up to it. And you can even send us an email at icopodcast@gmail.com. But here we are.
Bob, when you think of WrestleMania IX, what is the first thing that pops into your head?
First thing that pops into my head about WrestleMania IX.
Whether it's like an image or a match, or like what's the first thing you picture when you think of WrestleMania IX?
This is going to sound really weird, and you're probably going to say, really? Just the match, the match graphic of Money Inc. and Mega Maniacs.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And then secondly was Bobby Heenan on a camel.
Of course. You're going to be surprised by what I say.
What's that?
Lex Luger with the mirrors. It's the first thing I know. I picture when I think of WrestleMania IX.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I went with a match. That's literally maybe that's the heaviest thing promoted on it.
Well, of course.
I has to be.
Yeah, of course.
That's weird though, or not? It's not weird, but it's interesting that Luger Luger in the mirrors.
Well, especially
isn't it like sparks and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I hate Lex Luger, so it's funny that
Do you?
I do.
Do you?
Oh, I do. Especially because he ignored us on Twitter about doing our damn opening.
Yeah, don't bring that up. Speaking of which, though, so we're kind of reaching out to various WWF talents, I guess you could say, to maybe do like a, hey, you're listening to IcoPod, you got to hear it type of nonsense.
Nonsense?
Yeah, well, it's nonsense.
That's my phrase.
Oh, sorry. Just because I think it'd be kind of neat that if somebody from that era would do it. So we've reached out to a few people. If you have any suggestions, maybe, Vince McMahon himself.
Well, that's an easy one.
Yeah,
of course,
I talk to him all. I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
But maybe if I can't think, maybe we're just reaching out to the wrong people or what have you. I literally did it maybe an hour ago. We reached out to a few people.
I'm interested to see who A, answers back, and B, shows interest in doing it.
I think we'll be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if nobody responds.
Well, that's great optimism. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah. So, I didn't offer any money. I just said, hey, Zup.
Would you do this?
No, literally, I just said, hey, Zup. So I'm assuming they'll email me back saying, hey, what's going on? Hey, Zup. With a Z, not even an S.
Right,
hey, Zup.
Yeah. You threw some nice
Slang.
some lingo in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe later tonight I'll be, what up, dog?
Yeah. How's it hanging?
D-A-W-G.
Hey, Sean. How's it swinging down there?
Maybe I'll call Sonny at the local jail that she's
Collect call. Yeah.
Maybe check that out. Get her to do it.
Right.
So, but yeah. So I guess Money Incorporated and Hulk Hogan Beefcake is what I guess comes to mind.
Okay, fair enough.
Oddly enough, I don't know why, but so before we get to the March 22nd edition of Raw, I have quite a few notes here.
Okay.
So it might be a little while before we get to the actual show, but maybe that's a blessing in disguise. It's reported here that Raw will be taped for quite some time due to a upcoming European tour.
Great.
But I looked it up, and there's not really much impact on what's live and not. So I don't know where that information really came from. Kamala and Bam Bam Bigelow has been added to WrestleMania IX. Not sure why.
If Kamala doesn't win, fuck that.
Really? I would rather have Bigelow win that.
No.
What is with you? I've noticed something about this podcast. You're really into Kamala, and you really enjoyed the Kamala Kimchee.
Yeah.
Why?
It's entertaining.
For who?
Me, because it's like a big jungle guy chasing around his handler. How funny is that?
Kamala?
That's good TV.
Oh, my God. Kamala and Gonzalez should be a team.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, money right there.
I don't know if I'd like it as much, because
Oh, no,
Gonzalez is like...
It would be horrible.
Yeah.
It would be really bad.
I just like Kimchee. I think that's what it is.
How?
If I'm a wrestler in 93, I want Kimchee as my manager.
I don't know, man.
He's
That's
fucking
blowing my...
hilarious.
He doesn't do
Okay,
anything.
look at how he looks.
I can't. He just has like a
The
mask.
mask with the fucking safari outfit.
Yeah, it's
on.
like a bee mask too, like, or something.
Yeah.
Don't sting me.
Okay, so his name's Kimchee. Like, that's funny. I'm telling you, if I'm at 93, I want Kimchee to manage the Steiner brothers. If I'm Vince, I'm
What?
booking it. Yeah.
That's one. I mean, you give me all this flack for Luger, Tatanka, Crush. Fucking Kamala and Kimchee. Get the fuck out of here. Somebody that we both like, Doink, is getting such a positive reaction in New York that they've actually had to shoot angles in the, during the show to get the crowd to hate him. And a way that they're doing this is Doink will attack his opponent with a chair early on in the show and then have the actual match later on in the night.
Ugh.
I've noticed that with him on a show. I think it was maybe the one we'll talk about here later, but on a show against Savage. He had to hit Savage with a chair to get some heat on him.
They just can't win with the heels lately. So last week we talked about, Ramon getting cheered when he shouldn't be. And then they're really concerned with Doink getting cheered. It's like, realistically, what can you do in that case? You know what I mean? Because if the people like him, they're going to like him. Unless it's Lex Luger.
That's true. They don't like Lex Luger. The middle finger's right to the
Right
face
to
every
his
time.
face.
Every time. Last week's episode of Raw on March 15th actually got a 2.9. That's maybe because of the snowstorm. Maybe people just didn't leave their house.
They
and
had
just
nothing to
watched
do.
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess.
It was not a good show.
No.
Lightning Kid will be getting a tryout soon.
Okay.
What do you think about Lightning Kid?
Is that the same kid as we will know
Yes.
later on in the world?
Yes.
I think he was a pleasant addition to the roster.
Okay, good. Because he's one of the guys I reached out to about that opening. I don't want bad shit to be talked about. So.
Well, hey,
Lightning, I don't mind it. I mean, he'll maybe be a good enhancement guy. Small guys.
Yeah, and you know what? There's been a couple, not very many enhancement guys up to this point where you could maybe see him with a contract. So I think Lightning Kid definitely fits in that slot.
I think the one dude, the jacked up guy against Backlund,
Yeah, what was his name?
Mark Sinatra or something.
Something like that. But yeah, like guys like
He
him.
could get a contract.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Hulk Hogan did his first house show on March 19th in Lakeland, Florida. He teamed with Beefcake in a tag match against Money Incorporated. Another, I guess, preview here for WrestleMania 9. And I want to point out before I continue here that they had said DiBiase had a back injury and was going to be off of the shows and whatnot going into Mania 9. And he
Yeah.
hasn't missed anything.
Right.
So I don't know where they're
Yeah, I remember that.
getting their information from. The show didn't originally have them advertised, though. So the show did $2,400 in attendance and $31,000 in sales. So maybe if they had actually, promoted them,
Yeah.
would have been better off. On the same show, Bret Hart got a bigger reaction than guys like Hogan and Perfect. So maybe the fans
Wow.
are telling them, hey, we want more Hart.
Yeah.
As of, I guess, that weekend, there were still 6,000 tickets for WrestleMania to be sold.
Oh my goodness.
So
Yeah, that
apparently-
ain't good.
Yeah, tickets aren't really going very well. I mean, I don't think Caesar's Palace that they're running is necessarily big anyway.
No,
By
maybe
comparison of
what,
other shows.
I wouldn't even say 10,000 people.
No, you can probably fit 15.
It's a pretty small.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Just thinking about it in
Yeah,
my head,
it's
visually, it's
pretty
not that big of
small.
a place.
I don't know.
I'll have to look. Well,
Imagine if they only sold half the tickets to the show. Holy shit.
I think they could probably paper it to Vegas.
Oh, they're
So,
definitely going to. Yeah, absolutely.
remember Brian Clark? When I said he got well, he might be. He will be coming in,
Okay.
and he may be working a vampire gimmick. I don't know how I feel about vampire gimmick.
Yeah. Well,
93.
yeah. The jury's still out on that one.
Yeah.
It's 2018.
Yeah, I mean Brian, he's a big guy. I don't know if he really needs
A gimmick like that, though? No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
he.
No.
That doesn't really work. This week, though, I have a few house show notes. In fact, it's 4 different ones. 2 of them from March 19th and 2 of them from March 21st.
Okay.
Because there's kind of drastic things. Not drastic things, but there's different things going on here.
Sure.
So the first set is from March 19th. And they ran a show in Utica, New York in Lakeland, Florida, which was previously mentioned here.
Right.
So both on March 19th. The Utica show did about 4,200 for attendance.
Not bad.
And it featured Terry Taylor taking on Jim Brunzell, who was a substitute for Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Powers battled Damian Demento. Tito Santana was in action against Reno Riggins, who was just an enhancement guy on TV. He was a substitute for Papa Shango. The Undertaker battled Yokozuna. Tatanka met Doink the Clown. Virgil and Repo Man battled it out, probably in the classic. The Undertaker pulled double duty as he battled Gonzalez later on in the evening.
Wow.
And then the Steiner brothers battled the Beverly Brothers.
Not a bad show. I mean, that's like a mixed bag show because really the only ones that kind of stand out probably still weren't great matches. Although, you know what? I probably would have went to that one.
Yeah, I don't think I would have. I'm looking over it. I don't.
Well, Tatanka Doink, I mean, maybe. Undertaker, Yoko again.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. So if we're in Utica, New York,
right,
and we're watching TV and there's an ad, coming to Utica, New York, it's The Undertaker against Yokozuna, Tatanka against Doink the Clown, featuring the Steiner brothers.
Right.
Am I going to that?
I am. I would say yes.
I mean, Tatanka is my boy.
Well, he kind of makes me want to say no, but then the Steiners are there, so okay, maybe I'll go. Put it this way, I'm buying the $10 tickets in the nosebleeds for that one.
Well, yeah, if I were to go, that's what I would do. I wouldn't buy like front row or anything.
No.
That seems like a weak show to me. That same day, over in Lakeland, Florida, they had another show where Ray Rougeau was in action against the Brooklyn Brawler, which is baffling to me. I don't understand why Ray Rougeau is wrestling. The Head Shrinkers and Nasty Boys, they had a tag team match. Skinner met Coco Beware. Bob Backlund took on Kimchee.
Yes.
Bam Bam Bigelow and Kamala squared off in a match before WrestleMania IX. Typhoon battled the Cuban Terrorist. Couldn't tell you who that is. It says David Cannell, but I have no idea who that is. Hulk Hogan and Bruce Beefcake took on the WWF Tag Team Champions Money Incorporated in a non-title match. And in the main event, World Champion Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect battled the Razor Ramon and Lex Luger.
So that one definitely sounds stronger.
Well, just the final two tag matches alone.
Right. So yeah, that one's not too bad, although the undercard is fucking horrendous. But you do get, the Mania match of Bigelow Kamala, which, why that's not on a Raw, I don't know. But yeah, I would probably go to that one too.
I would be more inclined to go to this one for sure. And again, like, just looking at it from a different perspective of if they were to sell it on TV.
Right.
Because they don't announce the whole show.
Right, the whole card, right.
So you're going, watch Hulk Hogan and Bruce Beefcake as they take on the Tag Team Champions, Money Incorporated. Mm-hmm. And then, oh, by the way, Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect take on Razor Ramon Lex Luger.
Right.
Right there, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. And
Sign
you know
me
what?
up.
I'm upgrading my ticket for that show. So the other show I might be nosebleeds. That show I might be fifth row.
Right.
Like, I want to be pretty close to
I'm
that.
going to get a little closer.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Even with a shit undercard. For the most part.
No, yeah,
I mean, when you go there, you're probably going to be like, oh, this fucking sucks. Oh, but I got two big matches.
Well, yeah, and you know what? The talent alone on the later half of the card makes up for that, like you said.
Yeah. A couple days later, on March 21st, they had two different shows as well. Miami, Florida did about 1,850 fans apparently.
Wow.
That features Skinner taking on Coco Beware, Bob Backlund in singles match against Bam Bam Bigelow, Typhoon and the Cuban Terrorist, Crush took on Papa Shango, who was a substitute for Shawn Michaels, Kamala and Kimchee had a grudge match there, the Nasty Boys and the Head Shrinkers in a tag match, and then the main event was The Undertaker and Yokozuna.
Probably would be skipping that one. I mean, you do get the angle match of Kamala Kimchee. You get the Nasty Boys versus the Head Shrinkers. Again, Undertaker, Yoko. But really, other than that, and that's even stretching it, not really a great card there.
Yeah, that's a skippable.
Yeah, I would be missing that one.
It was just too weak to even go to.
Yeah.
That same day, and the majority of the reason why I do these, I like doing like the MSG shows for sure. So this one's from Madison Square Garden on March 21st, and it did about 10,400 in attendance, which is less than half of the arena.
Yeah.
The show included Rob Bartlett conducting an in-ring interview with Harvey Whippleman and Giant Gonzalez. I would imagine similar to what we had seen on Raw.
Sure.
Terry Taylor took on Jim Brunzell. Virgil battled Repo Man. Randy Savage and Doink the Clown fought. This also featured that angle that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler, he battled Tito Santana in a singles match. This is Lawler's Madison Square Garden debut.
Wow.
WWF Tag Team Champion IRS and Rick Steiner squared off in singles action. Tatanka met Reno Riggins, who was a substitute for Papa Shango. And WWF World Champion Bret Hart teamed with Mr. Perfect to take on Razor Ramon and Lex Luger.
That's a pretty damn good show, I think.
I mean, in-ring wise, I would have easily.
Right. They cut out, it seems like for this MSG show, they cut out a lot of the BS on the typical house show loop, which is nice because you got to think, if you're in Madison Square Garden, the show better be good. But I'm still pretty surprised that it was only 10,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's, it's not a huge, it's not like a, oh, wow, I got to check this out. But I want to point out, this is Doink's Madison Square Garden debut, by the way, as well. But, I mean, you got Savage on there. Like, I would assume maybe draw some people there.
So put it this way, if we found this on tape, I'd probably watch it.
I have it on tape.
Yeah, I'd probably watch it.
Because there was somebody that recorded them, and this was one of them that they recorded.
Right.
I can't remember if I necessarily enjoyed the whole show. I think the main event's pretty solid.
Sure.
From what I remember of watching it. So, but yeah, I think the drawing points here would be Savage Doink.
Yep.
For sure. I don't think Lawler's really that big of a deal.
Yeah, him and Tito. Well, him and Tito might be.
Maybe 13 minutes though for that.
No.
Rick Steiner against IRS. It's kind of a first interaction between Steiners and Money.
Yeah,
Money
nice one-on-one there.
And then the main event there, which I guess went about 20 minutes. So you're probably getting some solid action.
Plenty of time.
And it's also Luger's Madison Square Garden debut as well.
Okay.
So 3 debuts on this show.
Yeah.
Coming out of there, so which one would you? Madison Square Garden for sure, I would say.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to point out what they're doing on the road. It's kind of different shows.
And it's funny to compare to, like you said, between the quote unquote A and B shows. Just how necessarily A show, I feel like typically isn't as good as the B show.
I always take it as the A show is with the world champion.
Right.
And it seems as if the A, quote unquote A show, the undercard is just trash.
Horrible.
And then they have the strong main event, while opposite, like, it's a strong undercard.
It's a much more balanced
on the B show. Yeah. This is an interesting thing to point out. On the syndicated side, though, Superstars Wrestling Challenge, there's only one really noteworthy thing, and I'm interested to see what your reaction is to this.
Oh boy!
Because when I read it, I was really baffled by it. March 21st, Wrestling Challenge saw the Nasty Boys compete in a tag team match. They easily won the match, but there's a major note to take from the match that has nothing to do with the action. It's announced that the Nasty Boys had stepped aside for Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan to get a title shot at WrestleMania. So yes, the Nasty Boys declined their title opportunity against Money Incorporated to allow Beefcake and Hogan to take the shot.
What?
That's what I have written down in all caps. What?
Okay, all right. Let's pretend that we're the Nasty Boys, and let's pretend that wrestling is presented as a legitimate contest for championships. Okay. Why are the Nasty Boys, who are lucky to get a title shot at this point, saying, nah, you guys take it? Are you fucking kidding me?
It blows my mind. And the whole way the Nasty Boys are presented, yeah, they're good guys now. But for a long time, they were like, oh, we don't fucking care about anybody.
Or anything. They'll squirt mustard on you. They don't care.
So I'm just trying to think, okay, Beefcake got his face drilled in. They approached the Nasty Boys like, hey, Beefcake kind of got killed here. Do you mind if we get the title shot? in my head, I would think the Nasty Boys would be like, no.
No.
We want the tag titles.
Yeah, and we'll fight you if we have to get to them.
Why don't they have that match on Raw?
Right.
Turn the Nasty Boys heel again. Be like, no, man, fuck you, Beefcake.
Yeah, we don't care. We're trying to get the belts too. We don't care about you.
Instead, they're saying, okay, hey Hogan, you're back. Oh, we're buddies. It's okay. Go ahead.
First of all, it makes the Nasty Boys look even worse than they already do. Like idiots. Like, oh, you guys are stupid for that. And then it makes, to me, it cheapens the belts a little bit that a team was like, nah, we'll pass on them. Like, what?
Right. And this feud with the Nasty Boys and Money Incorporated had started back in October of '92 or something like that. So it's been building up for almost 6 months.
Like, they want a shot at them.
Yeah. They've been, as we mentioned in previous episodes here, they've been on the house shows continuously wrestling each other. And then it comes WrestleMania IX, and we're good.
That blows my mind. Blows my mind. I would like to know, well, why were they like, yeah, we'll do it? Because they felt bad for Beefcake?
I think it's just because, for them to get revenge, to allow Beefcake and Hogan to get revenge.
That's such bullshit. That's so bad. No, I don't like that at all. That pisses me off.
I didn't understand it. I figured that would be the type of reaction you would have. So.
Well, you're basically burying the belts. It's like,
well, it's that, and then the whole point of wrestling is to win a title.
Exactly.
Like, you're not doing it just for fun.
Right.
And so they're just like, oh, wait, we get a title match? Okay, great. And then 3 weeks later, Beefcake and Hogan, oh, well, we want it. Okay.
That'd be like, okay, so you're in the Olympics, and you're on the podium, and somebody wants to give you the gold medal. Nah, that's all right. Give it to the next guy.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, I earned this.
Yeah.
But I don't want the other
worked
guy.
your ass off. Like, you're finally getting the recognition you want. And I was like, nah, forget it.
Right. So from a storyline perspective, it makes virtually no sense.
Zero.
But I would think I would rather have Beefcake Hogan in there than, at this point, Nasty Boys. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But still, that doesn't make up for the fact
it does
that
not.
that's bullshit.
They could have thought of a better way to
Something.
get out of that. So
Something.
that ends all the news there for this. Before this episode of Raw, as noted, it's March 22nd, 1993, and we are live from the Manhattan Center in Manhattan, New York. Austin, take it away.
So, bonus points here. Raw is starting right out with their opening package. So we get no pre-tape promos, no SNL ripoff opening. That's how it's supposed to be. In my opinion, I'm starting every Raw with the opening video. So right there, it's like, okay, hopefully we might be back on track and in recovery mode from last week. Vince, we get a shot of the commentators. Vince introduces Savage and Bartlett before Savage announced that the Bushwhackers would indeed be taking on Damien Demento and Repo Man. But wait, because I thought, as it was announced last week, Tatanka was taking on Repo Man.
Right.
So they've already started switching things, which is like, great. Here we go again. But they wrapped it up quickly with the commentary and threw it right to the ring where Demento and Repo were already waiting for the Bushwhackers. And the crowd were all doing like the Bushwhacker arm thing. And we're pretty eagerly awaiting the team to make their entrance. And all I have down is if this is the opener, fuck. Like, this is not going to be a good show. Because, like we've discussed, I literally don't care about any one of the four that are going to be in this match. Should we get into it, Bob?
I mean, oh my God, I don't even look forward to talking about it.
Well, it's like a Band-Aid, so let's rip it off and just get it over.
All right.
The Bushwhackers made their way from the balcony down to the ring, instead, just marching through the crowd instead of coming from the regular curtain. When we got back, so we went to commercial. When we got back, they were still making their entrance through the crowd. So we're already dragging things on here. Although the crowd did love these guys. I was personally pulling for Repo and Demento. Because really, they're the Raw veterans. Like, they've been on several episodes. And these other two fooks have been nowhere. And if anything, they were announced and then didn't show up.
That's what I'm thinking. Repo Man and Demento may not be, I guess, a tag team per se, but they've made far more appearances than the Bushwhackers have.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I think going in, if I didn't know the context of it, I would think maybe Repo Man and Demento might get a chance here to shine.
That's what I was maybe thinking.
But then you see the entrance of the Bushwhackers
And
and
then
such
I
that
knew.
heavy focus.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, then
you
I
know
knew.
what this is going to be.
So jumping right into the match, we got into ass biting on the part of the Bushwhackers. At least Alfonso was calling it right down the middle, baby. Because, again, he was the ref for this one. The Bushwhackers cleared house and did their march around the ring. And it wouldn't last long, though, as Demento and Repo rallied and began to do some double team moves behind the ref's back. I thought for a hodgepodge tag team, they worked pretty well together, so that was kind of nice. And I have to give the Bushwhackers a little tiny ounce of credit. They take a good beating. They sell pretty well, I think. Back to the match, Butch got a hot tag and put both guys down, so Repo and Demento, and called for Luke to come in back into the ring, and they went for a double clothesline, although it was foiled as their legs were grabbed by Repo Man, who was on the outside of the ring. And after a quick turnaround and some fuckery with not really being sure who was tagged in and who wasn't, the Bushwhackers hit a battering ram headbutt on Repo to get the pin. Fucking A, it was brutal.
I think a train wreck would be a really good way of describing it.
They got way too much time.
I think it was almost 7 minutes.
Way too much
almost 6 or
time.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just insane. And I noticed for most of the match, like Damian Demento seems to be in there most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He is incredibly awkward, just on basic moves like a shoulder block.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Damian? And there was a couple of times, well, not a couple of times. There was one time where Repo had his hand out for a tag for 15 seconds. Demento just ignores him. So you hear Repo make, tag me in. Like, you have to tag me in.
So maybe this is him trying to get himself over a little bit.
I don't know. It was just awful. I've never liked the Bushwhackers. You never would have thought that the Bushwhackers and the Sheepherders were the same tag team.
See, and everybody always says that to me, and maybe it's because I haven't seen Sheepherder stuff, but knowing that they're the Bushwhackers, I wouldn't give a shit about it. Like, I would just tune out. I wouldn't even give it a chance.
I don't even know. I mean, the Sheepherder, I've seen a few of them. It's like, their violence is insane.
Well,
They beat the shit out of people. There's blood all over the place.
Yeah.
It's so drastically different that...
It's unrecognizable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. To me,
Never
it's
would have thought they're the same people.
It's tainted. Me.
I would have to consider this match to be easily the worst thing I've seen thus far in Raw.
I can't believe they opened with this.
Somebody thought it was a good idea.
If I'm a little kid watching this, I'm going to bed early tonight. Like, I ain't even dealing with this. Good night. Like, if this is the match, I'm shutting it off.
The only thing I can think of is like the Bushwhackers being a major draw for kids.
I
lick my forehead.
Yeah, I guess.
That's like sexual assault these days. But it's okay back then. Just bite my head.
It's the 90s. It's raw. It's uncut.
It's uncensored.
It's unsanitary. Lick your forehead.
Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah. Not a fan. Didn't like this match. Thought it was a really bad way to open the show. Thanks a lot for that one, Vince.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this episode I'm going to try to get through real quick, so this might be a short one. So coming out of that, we go to our second match, right? Is there anything in between?
Nope. Tatanka takes on Reno Riggins, who's been getting booked quite a bit lately.
Yeah, especially even on house shows as a substitute. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And much to my surprise, so the match starts, and Reno immediately starts attacking Tatanka like crazy before Tatanka even realized the match started. So Reno's already getting kind of the edge up on Tatanka, which is like not bad for an enhancement guy. He already knows it. He's got to go after Tatanka if he's going to beat him. With that said, Tatanka got back on track very quickly and hit a pretty big backdrop, some chops, a couple solid reversals.
Well, I noted on the backdrop the crowd seemed pretty impressed by it.
Yeah,
it was a noticeable like, whoa.
Yeah, he popped him up pretty high.
It was
Pretty
as if
high.
Riggins on the way down was in slow motion because he got like a lot of hang time on it.
Yeah.
Seemed like he's like, oh, okay, I'll bump.
Right. So that was good. During this match, commentary was putting over the WWF hotline, which, if I recall, this is the first time they've done so on air.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, talking about the WWF hotline. I have to mention too, though, Reno Riggins looks like a real douche canoe with the mullet, the cheetah print trunks, and the white
trunks.
boots.
Yeah, the trunks were kind of
Oh
cheesy
my
looking.
God, horrible. Back to the match, Tatanka went for a rebound body splash after being whipped towards the corner, but Riggins was able to duck out of the way. So he's showing some decent, like maybe he did his homework before he fought Tatanka, which is like good. It's turning out to be a decent, enhancement match, which was a nice change of pace. Riggins then attempted to capitalize with some punches and kicks to a laying Tatanka, who, mind you, no-sold all of them. So as he's getting punched and kicked, he wasn't selling it.
Well, he's going on the war dance, right?
No, he's just laying on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's just getting punched and kicked. He's not selling it.
Oh.
So then Riggins is like, fuck this, and he like illegally choked him. I was like, I'm going to make you sell. Of course, like you foreshadowed, Tatanka does turn the tables, going on his hot foot dance, as Bartlett likes to call it.
Noted, yeah.
Yep. And began firing away with big chops, a power slam, and his finish for the 3 count.
The end of the trail Samoan drop.
Although, you know what, I did like that it wasn't a total squash here. The Riggins guy got a decent showing and made, Tatanka look like a fighter heading into WrestleMania. Tatanka's gotten a hell of a booking sheet the last 2 months. Hopefully, I hope for the WWF's sake that he can deliver like they want him and expect him to and heading into WrestleMania. I doubt it, and I don't see the draw, but I rest my case.
Well, I think people at home might be able to hear an ambulance driving by, because I think you are going insane. Because it sounded you were awfully positive about Tatanka there for a guy that you don't like.
Well, okay. Let me clarify this.
Are you having a stroke or something? Is that why the ambulance is coming?
My temperature's rising a little bit.
Okay.
Let's rewind that. Now, I said he's getting the hell of a booking.
No, right, but you were like, oh, but this is pretty good. Oh, a good backdrop.
This was a good enhancement match.
Huh. Interesting.
Thankfully, the bookers let the enhancement guy get a little offense in.
First it was, Sean. Yeah, because of Sean. And now it's the enhancement guy.
It's the bookers.
It's the
bookers.
Because of Riggins.
Yeah, it's the bookers.
Well, okay, so you noted that Riggins got quite a bit in there and wasn't just beat up or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe at this point in time, I could be off a little bit here, but Reno Riggins had been wrestling for Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Ah.
And I know briefly there he was having an angle where he wanted to, I think, associate himself with like Dirty White Boy or something like that, and be one of the major players there. So it might kind of, I don't want to say tie into that, but maybe Vince was like, all right, Jim, we won't kill him on TV.
Right.
Here's
that
this.
could be.
Something, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably way off. But as for the squash match, I mean, you pretty much noted it. Just a good way, I guess, to give Tatanka a little bit of even more momentum. I mean, there's nothing going on with Shawn Michaels here.
Is it sad that I feel like Reno got more of a match out of Tatanka than Shawn can? Like, Reno fought more than Shawn did. Shawn got pinned quicker, didn't he?
Well, I mean, the first match was like 7 minutes.
Yeah, how long did this go?
Not 7 minutes. No way. Only probably like 3.
Okay, so in comparison, you got the IC champ, who only made it 7 minutes, compared to Reno fucking Riggins, who made it 3.
Yeah, but like Tatanka Michaels was it was faster pace. Come on,
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I think
that ambulance better be coming here if you're gonna sit here and tell me that Reno Riggins is gonna have a better match than Shawn Michaels with Tatanka.
No, I'm saying Tatanka's booking is like Shawn Michaels, the IC champ, only lasted 7 minutes compared to this Reno Riggins guy who got 3 minutes out of him. So they're basically making Shawn Michaels, the IC champ, comparable as far as lasting power against Tatanka to Reno Riggins.
Well, I feel like it's not going to be like that at WrestleMania 9.
It fucking better not be.
I'm
Or
pretty
you'll
sure,
need the ambulance, because I ain't watching his shit no
I'm
more.
pretty sure that match goes maybe 3 times the length of this match.
Good
So,
Lord.
actually 4 times that. Maybe even longer than that. 5 times. 6
Well,
times.
speaking
Probably
of
6
ambulance,
times. Yeah.
Vince announced that the first ever WWF Hall of Famer inductee would be none other than Andre the Giant.
Now, why are you saying speaking of ambulance? Because obviously the ambulance didn't make there in time.
Wow.
Right?
Holy
If it did, Andre
shit.
probably would have survived.
I was trying to make a joke out of it. You just brought it to a level it didn't need to go to, Bob.
I'm just calling as I see it.
I hope Andre isn't listening.
He's not, because he's dead. Because the ambulance didn't get there in time.
Thanks for rubbing it in. We got a nice package for Andre here, similar to the one they played for his 10-bell salute.
I'm sure he would have loved it if he saw it.
It had some clips of Andre's most memorable matches and moments. Very sincere, nice. One of the best things historically the company has always been to kind of deliver is like tribute packages. If you mention the ambulance again, I'm going to punch you. That's in my notes. IcoPod does not need to be seen as a heel podcast. We're all about good family entertainment.
Yeah, bullshit. Andre the Giant sucks, and I'm glad he's dead.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
oh boy. Bob,
No.
you must have drank a little bit too much cranberry juice
whoa,
today or something,
whoa.
Bob. I don't know what's going
What
on.
was in
today.
that taco earlier?
Um,
No, it is actually a really nice video.
right?
Putting over his career.
Yeah, for 93, not bad, not
it is.
bad. Then cut right to an Ico Pro promo.
No, you are missing something.
Oh boy, what I
Because
miss?
we come out of there, they're talking about people in the crowd. I guess there's a couple actors from All My Children.
I skipped over it because I don't know who they are.
I don't know who they are either. I didn't write down their names or nothing. But yeah, hey, soap opera guys, they check us out. That's what I
Fuck
gathered.
that. Let's skip over that.
They were like, it seemed like teenagers.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looked
And
like.
I don't even know if they were maybe joking.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they
Oh,
were really on All My
yeah.
Children. They could be like, oh, yeah, it's kids from All My Children.
Just 'cause
It
they're
could have been
young kids,
Yeah, it could have been
yeah.
like people, oh, hey, yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't
didn't
know.
bother to look it up or anything. So.
I don't like that they cut right from Andre to that. I was like,
Maybe Andre loved children.
oh, what's the show called?
All My Children.
Maybe he loved that show.
Maybe he did. Maybe he was on it.
Um,
But then we go to the Ico
yes.
Pro and figure ad,
Of
as
course.
per usual.
Of course.
And coming out of there, we go to our third match of the night. Right? And
Oh, you're skipping something now, buddy.
damn it, it's a Scott Steiner.
Back in the arena, we saw another great ass set to the Raw Girls roster
Oh, boy.
in a very pretty blonde. As Money Inc.'s music rang through, she was another highly rated by me, and I think even Savage was making references again to her.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I vaguely remember
Yeah.
them saying stuff like that, yeah.
So yes, Money Inc. is here. They're going to be taking on Scott Rich and Jeff Armstrong. Who comes up with those names?
I would assume the jobbers.
Those are horrible. Like if those aren't your real names and you came up with them, just stop.
Who the fuck comes up with Damien Demento?
That's genius,
Oh
Bob.
my god.
That's genius.
What about Rob Bartlett?
Speaking of Damien Demento, one of the job guys here has really shitty, kind of similar hair. Like it looked horrible.
Yeah, I think it's Rich.
Yeah, so
Scott Rich.
there's that. IRS got onto the mic and reminded the crowd, tax time is right around the corner. Don't cheat on them. Hands the mic right back. I love that IRS is constantly trying to get like his shit in. It's just so funny to me that they, I'm gonna take the mic, say one sentence, and hand it back to you.
Well, I mean, I remember growing up, like, as I would watch the older stuff, being annoyed with it.
Well, I think
that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
And it adds a lot to his character because every time he comes out, he's going to mention
He's
something.
gonna say something.
Yeah. So as a fan, you're just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
I know about my goddamn taxes.
Right. So come August or whatever, June.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, dude, we still have a year.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even filed yet.
Yeah,
It's
not even ready.
close.
Stop rushing me, IRS.
I just got my return back. What are you talking about?
Oh, I love it.
So you have anything else or no?
As far as the opening, no. I mean, the match, I didn't love the bizarre, like, Bartlett flipping through TV channels.
Yes.
He's there. He's telling Vince he was just checking out the competition to see what the WWF was up against. Vince exclaimed there is no competition, And mind you, this is all going on during a WWF Tag Team Champions match. So the champions are in the ring, who are also co-main eventing WrestleMania.
They are they're fighting Hogan and Beefcake.
Yeah, and Bartlett is putting over the fact that he's watching other channels.
Right. So I would be taking that as a fan of Bartlett not being interested in what's going on in the ring.
Yeah.
For him to take the time to go and look and see what's going on.
Set up a little TV.
Yeah.
Get the thing set up, and I don't.
Well, just checking out the competition. I'm taking that as you're not enjoying what you're watching, so you're going to see what else is on. And then if you come across something that's better, you're going to watch it.
Right. And so as fans and people watching at home, if a commentator is not interested, why should we be?
Yeah. Why should I care about Money Incorporated?
Exactly.
It really devalues them. Just,
yeah.
2 weeks before fucking WrestleMania 9?
In the co-main event.
Yeah.
They're not an undercard match.
Yeah.
This is the co-main event.
This is something they should be doing in the Bushwhackers match.
Yeah.
If you do it at all.
Yeah. And not only that, Bartlett even gives Randy a hard time as he says, I think I just saw you on the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah. And like Sever's like, what?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's stupid. I don't know. I mean, the match itself was very basic. The tandem of, Rich and Armstrong maybe got 3 moves in. It was an easy match, easy win for Money Inc. Nothing flashy here is all I have written down for this. It was pretty forgettable, and it really didn't help that Bartlett was not paying attention at all either. That made me not want to pay attention.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's just your basic enhancement match. Money Incorporated have next to zero issue here with Rich and Armstrong, as you would imagine.
Right.
Considering that they have a huge match with Hogan and Beefcake. IRS gets the win with the leaping clothesline, which I believe he calls the write-off. They don't call it the write-off yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what he names it.
Yeah, that's funny.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't understand the whole DiBiase thing here because this is a live show, and he's on the show, so I don't know how big that herniated disc thing was really bothering him that he couldn't work shows.
Although he didn't really do too much. If I remember correctly, DiBiase wasn't in the match too much. It was mostly IRS.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, watching it, because you had pointed out earlier, or a few episodes ago, that DiBiase was kind of looking out of shape.
Terribly.
And I'd never really paid attention to it, and then I think DiBiase was working towards the hard cam, and you can see his guts getting wider.
Yeah.
He's definitely not maintaining.
And who knows, that might have something to do with the back thing.
It could. It very well could.
But I just, like I said, like I pointed it out a couple episodes ago, it's kind of like a bummer to see, because, DiBiase is able to hide it under the coat and stuff, but as soon as he gets in the ring and starts getting blown up and looks out of shape, it's kind of like, ugh, that sucks.
Well, yeah, one thing, I mean, there's nothing really going on here, but one thing that I maybe thought Money Incorporated should have done, and I'm just thinking of it now, is use the briefcase on these guys.
Oh,
Why not recreate the angle there of Beefcake with, let's say, Scott Ridge, and just drill him with the briefcase, and then have his face shattered.
Right.
And then be like, see, Beefcake?
Yeah.
This is going to be you all over again. Bring back mind games.
Right.
It's like, oh, these guys are freaking bastards. They just
wrecked this guy's face. Other guys. Well, if you think about it, realistically, this enhancement match didn't do anything for Money Inc. I don't think it was basically a waste of a slot, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's coming across and like, wow, that was impressive.
No.
Hogan and Beefcake better watch out.
Exactly.
But if you do what I just said,
if you do something like that where you make kind of a show out of it, and it's like, then maybe, DiBiase does get on the mic and is like you said, does this bring any memory back, Beefcake? I know you're watching at home, fixing your face, you're still gluing it together. Like, how'd you like that? Or something, you know what I mean? Like something to where it foreshadows, you don't know what's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Right. You
don't know if these guys are going to hurt Beefcake again, or maybe Hogan and Beefcake are going to take the briefcase and hit them with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think, if you made something more out of it, it easily could have been a huge bonus to Money Inc. But they just dropped the ball here. You can tell they have no idea they've put all their eggs in one basket for this match, and it's getting to the point where we're only about a little bit over a week away, and they've tapped it dry. There's really seems like there's nothing else that they can put into this to hype it any further, which isn't good because as you noticed and as well noted, a lot of tickets still got to be sold for WrestleMania. a lot.
Yeah, 6,000, around 6,000.
Yeah. So it's just like very disappointing all the way around for this one.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat with you on that one. Coming out of the match, though, we go to another WrestleMania 9 report with Mean Gene. Basically, long story short on this one, he just runs down the same matches that we've been discussing, but he does note that this week on Superstars in Wrestling Challenge that WWF World Champion Bret Hart and Yokozuna will be having a contract signing.
Why not on Raw?
Why not on, the March to WrestleMania 9 thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
special there, so why don't we...
Right.
Instead on Superstars in Wrestling Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you don't have it on Raw. I don't understand.
Something to make people tune in and want to watch.
Yeah, this is their first literally in-person interaction since Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Coming out of that, we go to our main event.
Whoa.
I lied.
I got to make note of a stupid line that Gene says here.
Okay, good.
So he does more hype for, like you said, IRS versus the Mega Maniacs or whatever. Taker Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And then Gene closes it out by, again, putting over the fact that everybody will be wearing togas. And he says he got his in the mail, and there has to be more material on a roll of dental floss compared to what he got for WrestleMania 9. Put that image of Gene in your head.
Him wearing dental floss?
So he says his toga has less material
Right.
than a roll of dental floss.
Oh, my God.
How's that look? Now you really want to buy WrestleMania 9 and watch
I'd be
it.
calling that hotline.
Holy shit. So gross. So gross.
Mean Gene, man, he's a perv.
He is a perv.
God, you get some lines in there you
He
wouldn't
is a
expect him to
perv.
say.
But yes, you are correct. So up next we do have Kamala versus Doink. And just from the cutout of Doink and like the match graphic, it looks like he has a new wig for his outfit. It looks more of like an afro than a clown wig, though. I think it looks really stupid. Like I don't
In the graphic?
Yeah, you can tell in the graphic that it's different. It looks like a different Doink. I didn't like it.
I didn't even notice that. I mean, I remember seeing the match graphic, but
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to his wig.
Yeah. So nonetheless, Doink comes out with another present of some kind that a lot of the kids are just kind of staring blankly at him as he's walking by. Like, they don't know what to make of this guy. Kamala was out next, and what a main event here we have. We have a clown versus the Ugandan giant. So put that in perspective. That screams 93 to me. I don't know about you.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Doink offered the gift to Kamala, but he set it in the corner and began to catch him off guard with some wrestling offense. So he kind of goaded Kamala into getting beat up a little bit.
Well, doesn't he like toss confetti or something into his eyes?
Does he? I don't even know.
Because I noticed, because he goes to the corner and Doink seemingly throws something, because Kamala like covers his eyes
Oh, maybe he
as
does.
he stumbles out. So
Yeah,
I think
maybe
he threw
he
something
does.
into his face, like confetti or something that you can't really see. But
So going into the match, Doink was all over Kamala, and it looks, every time I see Kamala in this match, it looks like he's just rolling around like a big infant. Like Doink's kind of just rushing around doing some offense, and Kamala's just kind of like not really doing much. He's just flapping around a little bit. If I'm a kid in the crowd here, I'm probably not cheering for either of these guys. Because we know what Kamala was in the past. And we have an evil clown that he's facing. So I'm probably not a fan of either of these guys at this time. Again, if I'm a kid. What about you, Bob? Does that make sense to you? Like, I don't know. Who do you cheer for?
Well, not the evil clown for sure.
Right.
But the way that Kamala has been presented on television as being a lovable monster, I guess. I don't know how.
I don't know.
Because there's been so when Doink's trying to give him the present, you can see Kamala's face like, oh, you got me something. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was very kind of you. And then he takes it away. He's like, oh.
What a jerk.
And then he gets pissed. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that way you can kind of not appreciate, but get behind him, I guess.
It sounds like you were being very positive on Kamala, Bob.
No, I'm not. Because the match fucking sucks. The whole angle, segment, whatever you want to call it, blows. I hate it.
Yeah.
These past 2 episodes have sucked
cheesy.
balls.
It's cheesy.
So bad.
Doink eventually got Kamala to chase him around the ring and stopped Kamala in his tracks by, again, offering him the present. This time he did give it to Kamala, and Doink rolled into the ring. So while Kamala's opening it, he gets counted out. He opens the box to find there was nothing in it. And I laughed out loud at this finish. Because what a dick on the part of Doink the Clown. Like, he gives him the box. I actually felt bad for Kamala. Like, oh, that's kind of fucked up.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, he opens the box, there's nothing in it. And mind you, so while he was opening the present, Slick's yelling at him, don't worry about that mess. This is like, his manager's trying to get him in the ring. He just wants to open the present. And then there's nothing in it. And Doink is the winner.
What would you have given Kamala if there was actually a present?
I don't know. A rubber chicken? Like, that would have been funny. And he, like, squeezes it.
Right.
And like, oh, I like this noise.
Yeah, this is my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, something ridiculous. But I just, I thought the finish for it being just over the top ridiculous, pretty good. Like, come on, that's pretty good.
I mean...
For Doink to do that, that's pretty good.
It's a good way to be a dick, but the whole match blows.
It's not a good match.
No,
It's
so
not.
it doesn't end there, though. Because Doink goes under the ring to get away from Kamala. And Kamala's like, oh, well, I ain't stopping there. So he goes under the ring as well to chase after Doink. Doink comes out the other side and grabs a chair. And then proceeds to, like, whack Kamala. Or you would think it was Kamala.
Yeah, well, because it's making a pretty damn good noise.
Yeah.
But I could tell from the angle we were watching it, he's just hitting, like, a support beam. Like,
Yeah,
it's
he's
not
definitely
actually
missing.
Kamala.
Yeah, he's definitely missing. But Doink plays it off as if he did.
Well, and
So
if
he's
you're
like,
in the
yeah.
crowd with a bad viewpoint of this, you don't know otherwise.
Yeah, if you're on the opposite side,
Yeah.
you would probably think Kamala just got killed.
Yeah.
But Kamala proved that he was smart. He may not know how to pin some guy in the ring, but he sure knows how to trick a clown. Mm-hmm. So he comes out on the side of the ring, and he's behind Doink. He's perfectly fine, and he attacks Doink from behind, and this prompts Kamala to chase Doink to the back with the chair to end the segment. But Vince McMahon thinks they're probably running backstage to watch WWF Mania. Yeah.
Why would he say that?
Sure they are, Vince.
Why would
Gotta
he say
catch that Mania, which is on Saturday. Like, they were rushing off to go watch it at home.
Sit home for a week and wait for it to come on.
Hey, man, let's go watch our segment on Mania. All
Yeah,
right.
hurry. We better hurry. It's only 6 days away.
At 10 a.m.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't like... Okay, so let's put this match up against the match Doink had with Typhoon, let's say, from a couple weeks ago.
It's a 5-star classic in comparison.
Well, let's just say, because I know, they're both not good matches, but what enhances Doink's character more? Kamala, the Kamala match, which is comedy-based, or the match with Typhoon, where he's kind of all over him and a serial killer clown?
That's tough. I mean,
What?
it's tough.
No.
Well, because look at... Okay. I'm assuming you're saying Typhoon 1 is better?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's where my mind was going too. But there's also beneficial to this because he's a dick.
Yeah, but that's not a serious... It's comedy-based. It's comedy-based.
Yes, but it does... I agree with you on Typhoon and how him, like, just destroying him and having that evil look on the
At
floor.
the end to finish the match.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is far superior
Exactly.
to what they're doing here. But this also definitely serves a purpose.
It does. It does.
But
I
no,
don't
the
argue that.
I don't think
but
this was a completely worthless thing, but the match sucks.
I feel like
If there's
this...
anything better on the show, then this would be fine. But when this is essentially the leading thing,
Right.
like, come on, are you fucking kidding me?
I just feel like this, as far as getting Doink over as a serious heel, does him no favors.
I don't think the point of it was to be serious. Yeah,
Well,
it was
because
definitely-
we've noted that the WWF is trying to get people to boo this guy. And then you do something like that, it's like you're counteracting what you want to do.
yeah, and I don't think Kamala has the support of fans to be
No,
really.
not to that extent. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree. Before we close the show, though, 3 overweight ring girls are at the announcer's table, and they say they love Rob Bartlett. So, and maybe the most disgusting visual you'll see probably all year, maybe, Bartlett kisses one of them.
Yeah, so we come back in the arena, back from commercial, the WWF Mania promo or whatever. And Vince congratulates Bartlett for being the 1993 Spam Eating Award Contest winner, which has to be made up. Like, they made that.
Yes.
And then he says, so the overweight ring girls are his fan club. And there are, of course, some of the ring girls we've seen that are kind of overweight, not necessarily pretty. And Bartlett calls them the Fabulous Rhea Sisters. And I forget what two of the names are, but he calls one of them Daya. So it's Daya Rhea.
Rhea, right.
And I go, okay. Haha, very funny. Bartlett, I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote that because it's horrible.
Oh, I think this is all his material.
Yeah.
Anything he says is his.
Yeah. So at first he was mad that the Rhea sisters were there because that's not his type of women. But like you said, he does lay a kiss on one of them. And then he goes to wipe it off. But as he wipes it off, he accidentally elbows one of the other girls in the face off camera.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. And then he apologizes to her off mic immediately. So he wipes it off and then he elbows and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And it's off camera. And he fake kisses that one too, to make up for
I was going
it.
to say, because I noticed an embrace or something.
Yeah.
Second, but I didn't catch the elbow.
Oh, he elbowed her right in the face.
Wow.
She was kind of holding it and still smiling, and he's went over and
He just hit me.
Yeah.
It's fine. My jaw's broken.
It was so bad.
Wow. That's
So
funny.
bad. Such a stupid segment. Why are they doing this?
All this is to the lead into WrestleMania 9. We're
Yeah.
we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
So before the show comes to a conclusion here, they decide to promote the March to WrestleMania 9 special, which will be taking place on March 28th, which would be this Sunday if we were to be doing this live or anything. On the show, we'll have Yokozuna in singles action against Randy Savage, a huge match.
Huge match.
So immediately I'd be intrigued. I'd be watching that.
Yep.
The Undertaker will be in singles action against Bam Bam Bigelow. Sign me up.
Another pretty big match.
The Mega Maniacs will have an interview on the show as well.
Special interview, they say, yeah.
Yep. And then there'll also be a special 6-man midget match.
Ugh.
So we have
Why?
It's cool. 2 singles matches, an interview, great. And a special 6-man midget match.
Oh, good
Thanks,
thing.
guys.
Yeah,
Can't
good
wait for
thing.
fucking that shit. Savage guarantees victory against Yokozuna. But I noticed that Vince keeps on saying that it's next Sunday.
Oh.
He's it's not next Sunday, but it's this Sunday, the 28th. And Savage even tells no, it's this Sunday.
Yeah.
But he's like, we'll see you next Sunday.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even
So
realize that.
if you're
It's confusing.
yeah. So if you're a viewer, you're like, wait, it's on the same day as WrestleMania? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because WrestleMania is April 4th.
Yeah.
No, it'd be this Sunday, the Sunday coming up, not next Sunday.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Then, ironically, that'll be the next show that we do. We won't be doing. There is a Raw on the 29th, but it's just a brief review of, I guess.
It's like a clip show.
An abbreviated version.
Of that card.
Right. It's an abbreviated version of it. So we will just be watching the March to WrestleMania 9.
Right. To encompass the full show, we'll be going through that instead of the clip show of Raw next week. So you'll have a little bit more to listen to and hear about for that show.
Because I believe on the Raw, they mainly only do, I think, Yoko, Savage, and Taker Bigelow for matches.
Oh, okay.
And on the March to WrestleMania 9, there's several
Plenty
enhancement
more than
matches.
that,
And
yeah.
other angles there, too. So.
Right.
So basically, this show sucked. I literally wrote down one word: awful.
Well, and the whole thing that blows my mind is nothing was progressed here. They're running out of time to hype up WrestleMania, and you can tell they're also running out of material. They don't know how else to hype it up, it seems like. At this point, we have nothing to set up Perfect Luger. We have nothing to set up Bam Bam Kamala. We have nothing to set up Razor Ramon Backlund. It's one match after the other, and I just feel like they've really dropped the ball the past 2 Raws leading into WrestleMania. Both Raws have served no purpose.
You're absolutely right. And it's funny that the contract signings on Superstars in Wrestling Challenge.
Exactly. How do you not have that on Raw when, A, we haven't seen Brett in who knows how long on Raw? It's
Since
been
March 1st with Fatu.
It's almost a month.
Shawn Michaels hasn't been seen in over a month.
Right.
Since the 22nd of February.
The Battle Royal? Or the 6-man. Yeah, the 6-man match. So it blows my mind that they continually neglect angles that need the attention for poorly executed fuel for the tag team match, the co-main event. And we saw that even here with the Money Inc. match. There was really nothing that helped progress any storyline. tag team match or not. Nothing. I don't know. It's just from the Raws we've seen that have done a decent job of, kind of working on some angle or another. For both of these past two Raws to work on nothing is very weird to me. I don't get it.
I mean, you wouldn't even think WrestleMania was around the corner.
Yeah.
With the lack of promotion.
Exactly.
Which has me thinking, though, so, they've added King of the Ring for June. Could you imagine what the TV would look like if it was from April 5th, the night after WrestleMania, until August for SummerSlam?
Ugh.
I mean, what the hell would you do?
Right. You'd run out. Yeah, you'd have nothing.
There's no way you could. There'd be like probably 2 or 3 months of just nothing going on before they start.
Maybe they realize that. Maybe they realize that.
Maybe. I mean, I know they don't add anything again for pay-per-views till 95, right?
Well, and put it this way, with, like you said, WrestleMania around the corner, I can't imagine how the hype up to King of the Ring is going to end up turning out if this is the course they're going to take.
Well, here's the thing with that is that's going to probably be heavily focused on the tournament.
Well, and that's kind of a good excuse, but still, I hope that the angles going into King of the Ring is
well, I think the angle
helps enhance the show.
I think the angle is the tournament, though. I don't think there's going to be anything earth-shattering.
Yeah, but that's lazy. It's lazy. I don't know.
So King of the Ring, so then you got like a month or 2 months for SummerSlam. I think after King of the Ring, there'll be more of a heavy focus on angles.
Which is good because I feel like as a fan, if I'm watching in the crowds and stuff, this isn't 2018 where fantasy matches get you through. You need angles.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for so many new stars in the WWF at this time. You need their story. You have no story on them. Who's Lex Luger? We don't know. We haven't seen anything. He loves himself. Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And it's funny you mention that because in the coming, like after WrestleMania 9, there's an influx of new talent.
Right.
Like just one week after the other, it's, oh, here's this guy. Oh, here's this team. Here's
Right.
this, here's this character.
Right.
So it really quickly comes together there. So what would you do? Are you with me on that one? With the show just pretty much sucked?
Yep. No enhancements to WrestleMania. No real build-up of anything else. One of the main things that pisses me off is like the Perfect and Luger thing. We've gotten nothing. I get that the other 2 matches announced were just announced with, Bam Bam and those guys and stuff, Kamala and Razor and Backlund. But with the amount of time they've had to promote and really give a good attempt of pushing the Luger and Perfect thing, and they haven't, this just pisses me off. Like, why? Why not?
I think when we get to March WrestleMania 9 next week, we'll do a more dissective job, I think, on each match.
Probably,
leading
yeah.
into the actual show.
Right.
Just for where we think it's going. Because, I mean, just off the top of my head, with what's announced, there's 3 matches that are essentially filler.
Right. Absolutely.
Already, just off the top of my head.
Absolutely.
That I can think of. So, including Steiners and Headshrinkers from the other 2 matches you mentioned.
I know.
But yeah, so the next show that we'll be doing, as I've probably mentioned 5 times by this point.
Well, people need to know.
Yeah, is March WrestleMania 9, which was a special that took place on March 28th. It was a 2-hour special. As a result, we won't cover Raw since that's an abbreviated version of it. And then after that, we have WrestleMania 9.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm looking forward to getting to our second pay-per-view of this podcast journey.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun so far. And even though this week's episode and last week's episode, fucking brutal.
Scratch those.
We did it for you, guys.
Yeah.
So
I also think, too, like kind of we talked off air, but I'm hoping that moving from WrestleMania, we're looking up. It's higher. We're shooting for the skies after that because, like you said, a lot of new guys are coming in. Hopefully it kind of refreshes the batteries and the booking and writing. I have high hopes for WrestleMania and afterwards, so we'll see.
Well, so I've mentioned before, it's been probably 10 years since I've even went back to watch any of these Raws. Mm-hmm. But I do recall late April and then the entire month of May, it seems like, there's some really good stuff on there.
Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe you've seen some of it and you just don't know it yet or something.
Probably, yeah, probably.
I think there is a stretch there where it's pretty good, and then I know, at least I think off the top of my head, that the only other time when it's kind of a lull is by the end of the year.
Right.
Like in December. So
Yeah, and you know what? We'll see. I mean, up to this point, again, I've seen bits and pieces of some of the Raws we've seen. Probably mostly the first episode, and maybe in between. But hopefully, moving forward, I do recognize a little bit more, so I can kind of include that in my watch throughs. Like, oh, I have seen this and that kind of thing. Because a lot of these Raws, other than a couple instances, I haven't seen a lot of this stuff. And it's interesting because, as you said, you might not have seen it for several years now. But leading into WrestleMania, knowing what I know now after watching these Raws, definitely makes the show better for me. So, like, before we did this, if I were to, because I did watch WrestleMania IX a few times before, but I didn't really care about it. It's one of those WrestleManias where we talked about, again, off air, you need the lead up to kind of appreciate the card, even though the lead up, maybe not the strongest of all time, but the show itself isn't the strongest of all time. So you kind of need that to really appreciate WrestleMania IX for what it is.
I agree. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I've watched it a few times as well, and I mean, I've even noted that the build makes me think, well, maybe if I see it in a different context, maybe I'll appreciate it more.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think you do have a point with that.
Well, and you know, compared to usually WrestleMania can typically be a standalone show. Like, oh, it's WrestleMania, it's probably going to be decent. This is one of the WrestleManias where I would personally suggest go back, watch these couple of weeks, skip a couple maybe, and then watch it. And I'm sure you'll get a different take off of it, I think.
No, I'm right there with you, and it'll be interesting to see if that changes when we get through WrestleMania 9, or as we're watching it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You got anything else for this one?
That does it for me, okay. Bob.
Well, I'm glad that I survived these past 2 episodes. I'm glad you're still alive, and I hope everybody listening, I hope you're making it.
Yeah, right.
So we'll be back with the March to WrestleMania 9 here on the IcoPod podcast. You can check us out on Facebook at IcoPod. You can send us an email at icopodpodcast@gmail.com. This has been IcoPod. I am Bob Collins Jr. And for Austin Skinner, thanks for listening.
You gotta hear it.